Welcome everyone, Hone starts. To Total Drama Luxury Tour Aftermath, blindly continues, and blindly finish right here in the final destination in Hollywood, California. Welcome everyone to our third and final Aftermath show. Plainly greeted as she and Owen stood in their outdoor studio, surrounded by Total Drama fans. The studio also had 5 different sections of bleachers that different groups of eliminated contestants sat. You may be wondering why everyone is separated so oddly. Uninformed, it's because since the big issue today is the added reward to the game's winner. Where could Cody be? I don't see him in any section. Blandly skimmingly asked. Look up, Owen answered. Everyone in the studio looks up at the Westin Diplomat Resort Hotel standing behind the studio. At the very top of it there was the Gap-toothed Geek, strapped to the $5 million briefcase, hanging over the peak of the building. This is exploitation. The geek hollered angrily down at them. Hello, this is Total Drama. Have we met? Blandly sarcastically responded using the microphone to communicate with the geek. Our first said, excuse me, but I will take over from here. A man walked in to reveal himself as none other than the still working Celebrity Manhunt co-host, Josh. Josh, what are you doing here? Did Celebrity Manhunt fire you as well? Blandly asked. No, I still have a real job. Then why are you here? Owen also inquired. Josh looks valiantly in the air. When there are girls clawing and scratching at each other, I will be there. Now moving on, in case you were all wondering, the 5 bleachers represent each team the former contestants are rooting for regarding who wins the prize money and Cody's legally binding love. Josh walks over to one bleacher, consisting of 4 contestants. Please welcome Team Bridget, DJ, Leshana, Harold and Beth. The live audience surrounding the outdoor studio cheered loudly. Now you 4, why are you rooting for the surfer girl? Josh inquired curiously. Bridget is so nice, Beth answered, and she's the least insane of all of them. Leshana added, we just think nice people go well with nice people. DJ also put his 2 cents in, go Bridget. Harold finally added, very good. Next we have Team Sierra, consisting of just Izzy and Noah. The Izzy Brigade fully endorses Sierra being with Cody, Izzy announced as she sat on Noah's lap. What can I say? Noah adds, sometimes sane and crazy click. Izzy only giggled and smooches the bookworm. I have to add my personal bias to this team as well, Owen confessed. Now we have Team Gwen, Josh said as he approaches the bleacher with the most people on it. We have Trent, Katie, Sadie, Tyler, Lindsay and Justin. So why should Gwen win? Cody had been crazy for her since season 1. Trent explained, he was more trusting and loyal to her than me and Duncan combined. I agree with Trent. Katie happily supported her boyfriend. I agree with Katie. Sadie happily supported her BFF. Same here. Tyler also expressed his views. I knew Gwen was the one for Cody ever since she put her hands in his pants in the Amazon. Not to mention when I took their picture together in Jamaica. And I guess I should support my fellow drama brother with his first love, Justin also added. Besides, then Courtney will give this handsome fellow a shot. Okay, speaking of the CIT, Josh said while moving on to the next bleacher, now we have Team Courtney, which is just composed of the evil exes, Duncan and Jeff, as well as Eva. We only choose this side because the CIT would make the geek's life a living ELL, the punk informed. Bridget. Psycho Jeff concurred. Eva then stated, I support the toughest. She then sat down. Okay, Josh said, backing up uneasily. Lastly, we have Team Heather. Is this it? Ezekiel was the only one sitting on the Team Heather bleacher who was currently searching for nose gold. Looks like it, but don't worry. The Zeke is worth 10 eliminated contestants. Check it. There you have it, folks. Alejandro is unable to attend for he needed medical examinations after landing in criminal waste. Josh informed. Blaley stepped in. We also ran a poll for you, the viewers, to put down who you all want to win the geeky grand prize. What are the results? Read from the grand totals. 16,000 votes for Bridget, 10,000 votes for Courtney, 68,000 votes for Heather, 86,000 votes for Gwen, and 67,000 votes for Sierra, and looks like 1 vote for Blanley. The chubby teen said while eyeing Blanley suspiciously. Wow, Gwen dominated the polls, hee-ho, Blanley nervously said while the entire peanut gallery glared at her. What? Some people want their favorite celebrity to date their idols. Hee-hi. No one's buying it, Josh informed. Well, he does have a cute butt, Blanley confessed while looking at the hanging geek. Boy does he. Owen added. No estates, yeah. I don't know which one of you is creepier. And Blaney, aren't you like 30? Love knows no age, the cougar shouted. Yeah. Well, clearly Gwen is the favourite by the viewers. Heather just barely defeated Sierra for second. And the Codette and Coco fans were utterly decimated, Josh informed. Now it's time for our Q&A segment of the show, where we read the viewer's question out loud. I'll read the first one, Owen said as he puts the letters up on the big screen. Asher Ty asks Tyler. Having nearly fallen for one of Al's tricks, wrecked Lindsay's chance to win the game, and had to give up your own chance in order to make amends, is there anything you'd like to say about Mr. Mastermind now that he's been kicked out too? The jock smiled as Lindsay leaned next to him. He tried and failed. Also the dude got his crapperpants. Hey, Blonely was the next to read. Inu Ghost 2.0 asks Duncan, how do you feel about the new do Cody's given you? The delinquent only grits his teeth over the loss of his green mohawk. Actions speak louder than words, I guess. Josh chuckled. Next question. Hyperforce asks Alejandro, how does it feel knowing that Heather outwitted, humiliated and defeated you 2 seasons in a row? Well, though the Latin mastermind isn't here, we can still ask him via satellite, where he is currently getting disinfected for plunging into diverse fecal matter. The big screen shows Alejandro in a quarantined room where men in protective suits were testing the arch-enemy. Ian, $. They were million. Des pineapples. Next question comes from Asher Ty again. This one goes to Leshona. Last time you said that the relationship between yourself and Gwen was over. Kuput. Finished. Given that since then she managed to drop about 200 pounds of dead weight and attitude and apparently come back from the dark side, does this still stand? After all, you can't help who you fall in love with, especially when you're young. Are you gonna give Gwendolyn another chance, or at least let her earn one? Leshon aside, I guess it's all uphill from here between me and that white girl. I guess in time I can patch things up with her for real this time. Duncan only rolled his eyes. Next question, Blaney announced. Grizz Archer asks Trent, just curious as to your thoughts on Cody voting himself out in the previous challenge. Well, I did tell him selflessness was the right choice. I had no idea the show had to step in and squeeze more tension from the poor kid. The musician confessed, well, we did and we are proud of it. Blaley happily informed. Last question, Owen announced. Blorinificnity asks us, why can't Cody go to Blanley? She is hella hot and much more talented than those other losers. Hi. My fans and their fantasies. Blaley nervously reminded. Josh and Owen just glare at Mildred. Changing the subject, Blaley moves on. This concludes our Q&A session. For our next segment, Josh began, we will have a member from each team to have ourselves a good old-fashioned woman-on-woman mud wrestling match. Noah cut in. This is a children's show. Mud wrestling? Josh asks sadly. Instead, our challenge will be a tag team competition of another rematch with your demons, Blaley announced. Each team must send out one boy and one girl for this challenge. But I don't have a girl on my team, Ezekiel reminded. Well, Blanley, if you wanted to fill the void, Owen ushered the drama mogul. Fine, but only for rating's sake. Blanley stood next to the prairie boy. I suppose allying with one of the show's favourite dark horses would improve my image. I'm a favourite, Holmes Joe asked. You're like the Boba Fett of total drama. Sweet. Josh turned to Team Courtney. Eva, and who else? I will. The D-Mohawk delinquent volunteered. Izzy Brigade, when asked Team Sierra. Come on, Noah. Izzy happily dragged the bookworm into the centre of the stage next to Blenley and the Zeke, as well as Duncan and Eva. Team Bridget, Josh asked. Me and Leshona will. Harold eagerly stepped forward. I have to show her my mad skills. We can do this, baby, Leshona added, and Team Gwen, unasked. Blanley and I have a little score to settle. Katie informed regarding last Aftermath's fiasco. Come on, Trent, he. All right, the musician hesitantly complied. I suppose the demons in this segment will simply be about rematching with your former competitors, Josh reminded. Who are you rooting for? Cody, when asked the geek with his microphone. I plead the fifth, Cody hollered back from atop the massive building. Fair enough. Okay, here are the rules of the game. Josh explained. Each pair must focus on knocking your opponents off the giant Hollywood star platform set up for all of you at the center of the studio. Hooked poles will be given to each of you to use to pull each other off the stage. Whoever remains at the very end will win the advantage for whom they represent. The pairs composed of Ezekiel and Blanley, Eva and Duncan, Harold and Leshona, and Noah and Izzy stepped up to bat. Come on, Noah, this is the Izzy Brigade's game, the psychopath giddily shouted. Trent nervously looked at the fire in Katie's eyes towards Blanley. This one is in the bag, Ezekiel boasted. Duncan and Eva just prepare to bring the pain. On your mark. Get set. Owen started the challenge. Sling your hook. Wasting no time, Katie lunged at Blanley. The former co-host tried to parry the oncoming attack with her pole, but Sadie's BFF tackles her off the stage. Katie and Blanley are eliminated, Owen announced. Katie ignored this and continues to beat on Blanley, unremorseful after her unfair elimination last Aftermath. Trent only sighed. Josh, relishing in the catfight, devotes his entire attention to the tussling girls. Leshana and Eva took turns swinging their hooked poles against one another. Eva had the upper hand due to her superior strength, but the girl with attitude stood her ground. Izzy was gonna join the female tussle, but Noah pulled her back. She looked at him curiously, but the bookworm responded by tapping his forehead. Trent and Duncan also competitively locked hooks against one another. Reigniting their past animosities, the delinquent and the musician compete in a battle of strength. Duncan gets the upper hand by tripping Trent to his knees. Gotta do better than that, Elvis, the delinquent taunted as he knocks the musician off the platform. Trent is eliminated, unannounced. Duncan then turned his sights on Harold, who had been dueling with Ezekiel. He put his hook onto Harold's pants and lifted the nerd up, wedgie style. Harold screamed in pain as he is tossed off the star platform. The punk laughed in triumph, but it was short-lived, because two poles hooked around his ankles and the delinquent is tripped off the star platform courtesy of the Izzy Brigade. Harold and Duncan are eliminated, Josh announced once more. Eva and Leshana continue to go at it, but with one strong shove, the muscle woman pushed Leshana off of the stage. Leshana is eliminated, uninformed once more. Eva turned to Ezekiel, who stood before her, shaking. The prairie boy nervously stepped back as the female bully approached him. Homeschool then pointed at the Izzy Brigade, who were clearly the biggest threat in this competition. Eva complied and turned her attention towards them. Noah was taken back at this turn of events but regained his composure. Calm down, Eva. Remember the Season 1 finale. Noah made reference to the brutes. Eva halts as she recollected the events, but it was cut short as the opportunistic Ezekiel shoves her from behind and knocks Eva onto Noah, sending them both off the stage. Noah and Eva are eliminated, when informed again. Now it came down between Team Heather's last representative versus Team Sierra's. Cadet Izzy mad. Izzy, clearly upset by the Zeke's stunt, said and prepared for retribution. Without a second of hesitation, the psychopath whacks Homeschool right off the stage and into the bleachers. Ezekiel is eliminated, Josh announced, which means Team Sierra wins. When added, Haza, Izzy backflips off the stage and onto Noah for the Izzy Brigade. For my pelvis, the bookworm said after the psychopath happily landed on him. Blanley, who recovered from her beating, slowly gets up to join in the commentary. That's right, in the final challenge, Sierra wins the advantage. Show everyone what you won. A key, Josh announced, when turned to the camera. What will the key open for Sierra? Will it help her win the grand prize? Or will the Codemeister fall into someone else's hands? Get me down from here, Cody pleaded from above the hotel building. All three hosts say at once. Find out in the finale of Total Drama. Lux Retour. Big heads up, the finale may take a while to finish, could be as long as a week or maybe even more. Remember the very beginning of the story when I said the ending was unclear? Well, I still haven't figured it out yet. Well, here's hoping it satisfies most of you. Also, thanks for all who sent in their questions. Sorry for those I missed.